It was 6:30 in the morning. Bob Vinson, a supervisor, was on night duty on the second floor of the Harveys Lake Tahoe Hotel and Casino in Nevada. Suddenly, he noticed a strange-looking machine in the corridor, a machine that definitely wasn't there before. This floor was reserved for employees, and seeing something like this so late at night raised immediate concern. The object was a metallic box with a smaller box attached on top. On the front was a bizarre-looking control panel with 28 numbered switches. All switches were in the downward position, except for switch number 23. What puzzled Bob even more was that despite being on duty all night, he hadn't heard any noise indicating someone placing such a heavy machine. It was resting on 4 wooden blocks that had sunken into the carpet, proof that the device was very heavy. Nearby door locks had been disabled using superglue, suggesting deliberate tampering. Next to the box, Bob found an envelope labeled, "To the Harveys Management." He quickly called security, followed by the police and fire department. No one dared touch the envelope at first, fearing it could be a trap. Eventually, it was moved carefully with a broomstick and opened. Inside was a 3-page typed document. At the top, a headline read, "Warning to Hotel Management and Bomb Squad." The letter warned them not to move or tamper with the device, as even a slight shift could detonate it. It was rigged with float switches, tilt mechanisms, and screws connected to detonators. Tampering in any way would increase air pressure and trigger an explosion. In simple words, the bomb was ultra-sensitive and could go off with the slightest disturbance. At the time, around 600 guests were staying at the hotel. Authorities immediately evacuated the building and moved everyone to the parking lot. The bomb squad arrived and inspected the machine. It was a well-welded steel box with no visible fingerprints. X-rays revealed internal wiring, a float valve, and cylinders of unknown material. The control box appeared to have real, connected mechanisms, not a hoax. The letter claimed that TNT was inside and that the bomb would automatically detonate in 24 hours. It stated that there was no way to defuse it. Even the builder couldn't stop it. The only option was to follow the instructions exactly and transport it safely to a secure location. The bomb's creator demanded $3 million in cash, only in used $100 bills, unmarked and untreated. The threat was clear. Any tricks would result in detonation. The delivery method? A helicopter would be used. The pilot was instructed to land at 11 p.m. at Lake Tahoe Airport, near a specific building. He would receive a phone call at a nearby fence with further instructions. The helicopter was to be flown by the pilot alone. No gunman, no backup. FBI agent Joe took the mission. A decoy helicopter was prepared with fake cash and a hidden gunman behind the pilot's seat. At 11 p.m., they followed the instructions and landed at the designated spot. A nearby payphone rang, and a man instructed the agent to retrieve another letter hidden under the booth's table. The new letter instructed the pilot to light a flashlight and show every corner of the helicopter. "We are watching you!" Then he was told to fly toward Highway 50 and look for a strobe light in the forest. That would mark the next drop point. The pilot complied and searched for the strobe light, circling for an hour, but found nothing. Later, they realized they had misunderstood the location mentioned in the letter and were miles away from the intended site. A message was broadcast on TV, requesting clarification. When the suspect realized the authorities were still willing to deliver the money, he called the police station and instructed them to flip switch 5 on the machine. Authorities suspected this was a dummy switch meant to buy time. By now, over 24 hours had passed, yet the bomb hadn't exploded, a positive sign. Meanwhile, FBI and bomb experts estimated that the bomb might contain up to 1,000 pounds of TNT. After extensive calculations, They decided to attempt a controlled detonation using a small plastic explosive aimed at the bomb's control box. Everything was ready. At 3:45 p.m. on August 27th, buildings were evacuated, cameras were rolling, and the remote detonation was triggered. The corridor shook as the machine exploded, but the bomb didn't contain TNT as claimed. Instead, it had dynamite, which was less powerful. So, who planted this bomb? Investigation revealed that the mastermind was 58-year-old John Burgess, a man who had lost his life savings gambling at the same casino. With help from his two sons, he orchestrated this entire scheme to extort money and steal the helicopter. The ultimate plan was this. While the pilot searched for another letter in the woods, Burgess' sons would steal the helicopter with the money, flying it to a remote location where they had parked a getaway car. John Burgess was sentenced to 20 years in prison, while his sons were granted immunity for cooperating with authorities. Burgess died of liver cancer in 1996. The hotel was later renovated and reopened with a new design and more rooms.